Okay, it is December 11th. I was going to say happy Christmas. That makes no sense. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy second Tuesday of the month. We're going to carry on with second Tuesday of every month into next year. You might have noticed that tonight as I shared the Zoom information. So first note for tonight, write it on your calendar now. Always the second Tuesday of every month, 8 o'clock newbie, 8:30 team, and then team leader to follow if you're still awake. So then it just makes it simple. It's called our team call night, and we're so excited to be here. If you don't know who I am, I'm Kayla Troutman. I'm a Wild Tree director out of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, married to my husband, Nate. My son is Macaulay. His third birthday is tomorrow. And I wish this was like vodka in this cup. I'm trying to cope with the idea that he's 3. This is actually coffee. Oh, Lori's drinking wine. Chris has probably got a beer. Let me see your drinks, everyone. Okay, awesome. I have coffee tonight because honestly, my husband is still not home. He said he's going to be home around 9 tonight, super late. And I've got lots of Christmas orders to enter in the next 24 hours. So I'm kind of like revved up and excited, but also just like anxious and nervous and whatever. So that's a little bit about me. I love Wild Tree. I eat, breathe, sleep it, but I also do lots of other fun things. In my lots of spare time, I talk to Carissa and Jess Huffman about silly things that make no sense. I do like to read. And tonight I made the best Lego creation ever. You can check it out in my Insta stories. So there you go. Okay, Carissa, your turn.
Hey, everybody. Yes, I am drinking wine. It says mommy juice on there, so it could be anything, but it's a glass of wine. Nora gave me a run for my money this afternoon today. So I'm a director here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I am married to my husband, Tony, who's probably sleeping on the couch now, probably because all the kids went to bed. And yeah, I wore them out for the day, so he just has the easy part, like, good night, love you. He just got home like a little while ago. But anyway, so I have 4 kids. I do talk to Kayla a lot about random crap. But I am super excited for this call and super excited to jumpstart our 2019 with all of you and give you some brainstorming ideas. And I can't wait to hear from all of you on what works for you for coming into the new season of with Wild Tree and all the fun that's going to be happening. So I'm just super excited. And thanks for jumping on. Thanks for those that watch the playback of these too, because sometimes these meetings can get a little rowdy. So appreciate your patience and grace with us. So
yeah, all right. Well, we are excited to go. My husband's home, so I'm good to shut the office door and totally be Wild Tree focused and not trying to divide my time. But main message to take away from that moment is when your husband texts you just a few minutes before 8, with this business, we get to work from home in our yoga pants with wine or coffee, and you can make it work and everybody gives you grace. So I just think, again, another reason this career is so cool. This month's team call, let's talk a little bit about goal setting and vision. So if you don't have a plan, essentially, you are not going to find the success that you're capable of, not even a fraction of it, next year, 2019. So first and foremost, we want you to realize December is still a month on the calendar. Believe it or not, it's the 12th month. People do still eat. People do still gift give. People do still use our products, love them, host, etc. So number one, whether you're new or been here 5 years, don't skip over this month. Note that like you can have your best month of the year in December if you choose it. But how do you get there? It starts with right now for 2019, setting a vision. So I want you guys to take some turns tonight. Say your name. Say how long you've been with Wild Tree. And if you've been here longer than 6 months, I want you to chime in now. This is your meeting. What have you done with your Wild Tree business? What's something that Wild Tree has done for you? Maybe you set a goal like a Disney trip and paid for it, or maybe you replaced full-time income. Maybe it was little, like pay for karate lessons. But I want to hear some real life, like I had this vision or this goal, and this is what Wild Tree does for us. So I'm going to mute myself, and you guys are all going to jump in at one time and talk at the same time. Go.
there's a lot of people still muted.
I can go first. I'm Megan.
Hey, Megan.
I've been with Wild Tree, I think it's either 2 years or over 2 years, but the first, almost 2 years, the first over a year. I was just doing it, every couple of months. I just, it was more for the discount. I was working a full-time job. I was an administrator. I was busy. I was focused on my career at that point. And then my husband was deployed. My son has health issues, and I have to travel every week to different cities and states for care for him. So I had to quit my job, and now I'm a stay-at-home mom. And my son's health is more important, so this is what I'm doing, and this is what it needs to be. And I had my best month last month, and I'm hoping to just keep going forward.
That's so awesome, Megan.
Is that what we were supposed to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, perfect. It can be as big or as little. Okay, who's next?
I can go. So I started about a month ago, and I guess I came from a different consulting business, so I decided that it wasn't meant for me anymore. I was trying to go through a weight program in trying to lessen my sodium and sugars and everything, and Carissa had huge support in Wild Tree there. So she got my sister started in Wild Tree, so then my sister introduced it to me, and then I started to like it. So I don't know, I guess it's been for quite a while now that I've been using Wild Tree, and I thought, well, since I'm using it now for this program, I thought I would start selling it, because obviously if my kitchen is stocked full of it, I'm telling everybody all the time about it. I have a lot of friends that love it, so I have great support with my family. My mom, actually, I was just writing down my mom's party date because she booked a party for next month, and I've already got a couple already booked for next month. So I'm super excited to get going and started with all these parties that I got going on.
That's awesome. And only a month in, and you've already had a couple parties already.
Yep.
Who else?
I guess I can jump on. I'm Lori. I've been with Wild Tree for a year, and or just over a year now. And I got my first Erin Condren planner. Yay, today.
Yay!
Kayla, you're bad influence.
I love me some planners. I got both of mine here on the desk. So
I haven't got mine to the desk yet. But anyways, I was a customer of Kayla's for several years, and basically referred all my friends to Kayla. Anybody that wanted anything, I got it through Kayla. And when my husband went on active duty last year, I decided I needed something to get out and socialize, and I couldn't think of anything better to do than to hang out with a bunch of Wild Tree girls and sell some of my favorite food to eat. I've had my struggles, but I'm working through them with Kayla's help and everybody else here on our team's help. And hopefully this month I'm going to try and outdo last month, which will be interesting. But I can do it, right, Kayla?
you sure can. And Lori just signed up for the lead program, you guys. So she's joining our next leader and training group. And I'm so excited to have you, Lori.
Awesome.
Who else wants to share? I'm going to quickly interject something. So when I first joined, I want to share so that nobody on the call feels like their stuff is too small or too big. When I first joined, my first big aha was when I made $548 one month. And that was enough to compensate for my husband being deathly ill over a Thanksgiving holiday where he didn't go to work the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And that thus meant he didn't get paid for his holiday pay Thursday or Friday. And I remember thinking, how poopy is that? That's Christmas money. And then I realized my Wild Tree check paid for that. And for some reason that just stuck out in my head tonight, maybe because it's the season, but it can be something so little, like 1 month's work in October paid me that in November when I was first getting started, that I could, basically you can replace things. It doesn't even have to be extras. It can be needed money. So I just wanted to share that real life testimony. Anyone else? If you're just jumping on, we're sharing who you are, how long you've been with Wild Tree, and something that you've set as a goal or something that you're working on here with Wild Tree. I need a couple more examples if anyone's willing to join or to comment and to share.
I can go. My name is Dawn. I've been with Wild Tree for just about 5 years or a little bit over 5 years. I haven't looked exactly, but I originally came on board with Wild Tree for the discount. I was one of those kidnappers, and also for a financial backup plan in case something happened. So as emotions go in life, I was pregnant with my third child. We had our 3 kids. Daycare was through the roof. And I felt that somebody needed to be home with the kids. So I am in the process of replacing my career income from that, and we are so excited.
I love it. Go Dawn. Carissa, what's something you specifically set a goal for? I'm hoping you say the one I'm thinking about, but any of your cool goals. Carissa's good at setting a specific financial goal of some kind and hitting it. So Carissa, would you share one that you set?
Is it most recent?
No, it's one when I almost first hardly knew you. It was 2 years back, probably.
Yeah. So, well, okay. So for me, when I started 7 years ago, and I started for the discount basically. And I didn't believe in that I could make money in one of these things. I did believe I could not look like a putz in the kitchen because this made me look really good in the kitchen. So when I first started to really work Wild Tree with my corporate job 5 years ago, I really had no idea why I was doing it. It was just like, oh, this is fun. Oh, they want to book a party. I'll go drink wine and help people. That was my mindset. I was like, oh, I earned a trip. Great. I'm going on a trip. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to earn another trip. So I actually never really had a real big, clear vision. People would always talk about these big visions. And I was like, I'm going to Mexico. See you later. I just never really sat down. And then my 2016, I would think it was my first leadership because I'm like, I don't need to go to leadership. I don't need to go to conference. And you need to go to all of the above. And I was sitting there talking with another leader, and she was just like, so, what do you got planned for this year? And I just kind of looked at her like, I don't know, I'm just going to book some parties, help some people. She's like, so is there a dollar amount? Is there something where you're like, oh, I really want to take my family here, or I really want to save a whole bunch of money and go, put it down on a house, or there was just nothing. Do you want to retire your husband? I always heard all these things, and I was just like, I guess I never really thought about it. Just been going through the motions and just enjoying the ride. I mean, really. So we sat there at the bar and talked some more, had some drinks, and I was like, you know what? There is one goal that I would like. My husband and I, we got pregnant unexpectedly in June, and then we find out in September he's going to deploy to Iraq. So I'm going to have this baby by myself in a different city. All my family's 3 hours away, and you're going to be in Iraq. This is great. So and then we got married on the whim, all these things. We got married on a Wednesday. He left on a Friday. Didn't see him until after Brady was born, 2 weeks after he was born. So it was hot mess. He marries me, and he comes clean. He has nothing, no debt, no car payment, no credit card bills. He's got nothing, clean slate. And I'm like, so I have $14,000 in student loan debt that's just kind of hanging out, and he was always like, oh, you just use my deployment money, blah, blah. No, not using your deployment money. So that's not even a question here. So I was sitting there at the bar, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay off this debt. I'm going to work my butt. I'm going to work my business, and it's going to be my ownership, and I'm going to pay it off. And he was like, no, whatever. We're in this together. And I was like, no, that's a lot of money. It's on me, and I'm going to do it with, I just want you to support me. And he's like, yeah. So that's what I did. I wrote it down, $13,000 some $100, whatever. I paid it off 2 months in advance, and I just could not be more proud of myself for doing it, and just showing that it can happen, showing anybody that if you want $100, you can do it. If you want $5,000, you can do it. And you just have to tell yourself and just be consistent and work the plan and just do it. And yeah, I get kind of choked up thinking about it because that's a lot of money and I could have used that money somewhere else, but
I,
proud that I did it.
You're talking and I'm over here like crying over my coffee, like, man alive. That's the kind of stuff I wanted you guys to hear tonight. I want to quickly share. Heather had commented in the chat. Carissa, can you see it on your computer easy? Can you read Heather's quick? It's hard for me to read it on the phone and film myself.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
same.
She's
Can you
like,
read
I'm
that?
Heather and I have laryngitis. I don't mean to laugh at you, Heather. It's just funny how I can hear you saying it. I've been with Wild Tree since March. I haven't hit any financial goal yet, but it's nice to not worry that my daughter is doing 5 dance classes. Wild Tree has been an amazing tool to build my confidence and draw me out of the house, which for me is worth than hitting a financial goal at this point. That's awesome.
That's amazing. So what we want to talk about a little bit, and guys, we want you all to share. So if somebody else still wants to share, hold tight because we'll leave some time here for questions and sharing. But why I started this way is it's so powerful for you guys to hear the power of goal setting. I had my baby, never intended to be a stay-at-home mom, didn't really intend to be a mom. If you know me, you are laughing at this point on the call. I love being a mom with all my heart and my son, but I could not possibly imagine just playing trains all day. Wild Tree is my saving grace, but we needed money still. I made great corporate money, and you can't just walk in one day and give up 6 figures, or most families can't. If you can, amazing. We could not. So I had to set a goal quick that my original, like at the time, I had gone from, making a couple hundred a month to making 1,000 to making 2,000. My husband looked at me the night before I resigned and he said, whenever you're ready to resign, you can resign, but you got to double your income like in 6 weeks. You got to literally go from 2,000 a month to 4,000 a month. At first, I need like 8 more months of that and then we're good. And I was like, 6 weeks? Do you know, like, owning a business takes some time, right? Everybody, if you're watching this, you know what I'm saying. But I just set my mind to it. I wrote numbers out. I want to quickly grab a powerful tool. Many of you have seen it, but I think it's important for everyone to see. But I write numbers out even now. So this is my current vision board, and right here in red, I don't know how good you can see it, but is my current per month paycheck that I want to have every single month. It doesn't matter if you're not a financial driven person, then put other things on a vision board or on your fridge. But tie some kind of Wild Tree work. There's Carissa's. I love it. It's so important to have vision. Oh, Carissa, I think you're muted. You're talking.
I was going to say there's no money on mine either.
Yeah, because not everybody's motivated by money. If Carissa gets the things paid off for her family, some of you might be here for fun or free products. But I want to assign you guys 2 things tonight. Number 1, I want you to take the next couple weeks, keep working. Don't lose your momentum. And number 2, I want you to set some hardcore vision for yourself and your family. Not just Wild Tree vision. I mean, I'm giving you some life advice here. You only get one life. Carissa's going to laugh, but she knows I mean this. I just had an old boss of mine pass away at 54, a massive heart attack suddenly. Man, you talk about You talk about a reality check. He was my boss 2 years ago that I resigned with. And he looked me dead in the eyes with tears in his eyes and said, I am so sad to lose you, but you need to be at home. You're really good at selling taco seasoning. You're really going to be a fun stay-at-home mom. You go. You only get one life is what he told me. And P.S., he knew he had heart issues. His whole family has heart issues. So he saw the value in life. And I just keep thinking, if I can instill in any one of you tonight, just make a difference in one of your lives, I want you to realize anything you want for 2019 is yours. Now, that being said, I'm not telling you again that you have to go chase millions. Maybe for you, it is having no debt. Maybe for you, it's a commitment to family dinners around the table and more time together. And that means that one of you or your spouse need to leave a job that's too demanding in this season or whatever it is. Like, gosh, Carissa, can you help me with a few more ideas? Like, what are some specific things you've seen people work for?
Or like Heather was saying, she doesn't have to worry that her daughter wants to take dance classes. Or like Megan was saying too, like now she's more present with her son and she gets to be the one to take him to his appointments. Or I know another one I've heard is just confidence. Maybe they don't want thousands of dollars a month, but they want that confidence back, that feeling of helping other people and being confident that they can do that and believe in themselves, that they can go out and they can talk to a bunch of strangers, or they can, whatever, do a workshop or tasting or online party or just go live. I mean, when we did our go live challenge, so many people appreciated that because it kind of broke them out of their shell. There's so much more here than just the income. The income is a big piece, but I've had so much personal development over the past 5 years that's insane that I would have never gotten, honestly, at a corporate job. I worked at Kohl's corporate, Menominee Falls. I worked at Shopko corporate here in Green Bay, and there was no one recommended books to me. No one had speakers come talk to me. No one cared if I got a raise. I mean, it's crazy to me that all the things that you can get out of this crazy company selling taco seasoning. We always say that, not really, slinging taco seasoning, whatever, but just you can get so much, so you don't have to be like, well, I know Carissa took her, like another one. I want to take my family to St. Lucia around this time last year. I was leaving in like 3 days, and I had 3 months to come up with $10,000 to pay for it with Wild Tree because it was one of my best friend's weddings back in the day, and I was like, I'm not missing this, and my whole family's coming and all the things. But that was that one thing. 1 month it might just be to pay for this ridiculous amount of baseball lessons, and I booked a hotel for 4 days at Chula Vista, and that's not cheap for next year. So I know where my paycheck's going next year, but it's just a possibility. What I'm trying to say is the possibilities are endless, and it doesn't have to be just for one thing. And I talk about vision a lot, and some people, they need to paint a whole vision for the whole year. And honestly, I almost break it down into smaller portions just because that works best for my brain. So
yeah. So here's some things for you guys. Vision does change. I have a professional business coach, and Carissa and I pace together as partners. Maybe a tip for you this year is find a pacing partner. No matter what you're going to do this year in 2019 with your business, vision cannot be the same vision board you had for 3 years. It's stale. Get a new board. If you need me to send you $4 so you can go to the dollar store and get a board and some glue sticks and whatever, I will mail you $4 in the mail or whatever you need. I'm not kidding you, because vision changes. Ask Carissa. And like she said, sometimes you need to do maybe start out with a vision board that only has portions of it filled so you can continue to add throughout the year. For me, you guys know my patio was something I was dreaming for 3 years since we bought this house. And every time I look out the window, rain, sleet, snow, sunshine, it's not going to matter. Wild Tree, baby. Put those bricks in there, laid those pavers. So we don't say that to brag. That was on my vision board. It's on this vision board now. My coach said to me, the number one thing you need to complete by January 1st is a new vision board. Take things that still matter to you, find new pictures, find new quotes, whatever, transfer them on. But you completed a lot this year. So do not look backwards at this point. Don't look at your vision board and say, I didn't make this happen. Don't say, oh yeah, Carissa and Kayla made things happen and I just haven't done anything with my business yet. You've all made progress. You're on this call tonight. You chose Wild Tree as a vehicle, and you might be here 2 days or 2 years or whatever, but right now is your chance to start fresh. A new year is a great time to set vision. Then we're going to take that vision and we're going to help you over the next coming months, starting with January. And I've got some ideas for you tonight. Fill in your calendar and your business to hit your goals. So based on how much money you want to make, that's how many nights a week or nights a month you're going to want to work, right? You can do Facebook, you can do online, you can do tastings, workshops, whatever you want. So please note, tonight's call is not about how to do those things or why to do different kinds of parties. I'm just going to give you some different ideas to finish out the year strong. Number one, we have until the 13th at midnight to submit as many orders as possible for customers to get their items before Christmas. So make a note, there's still time for Christmas shopping. If you are brand new, it's a perfect time to ask people if they want to get something and knock somebody off their gift giving list quick and support your new business. If you've been here a while and you're participating in the 12 Days of Christmas sale, we're going to be entering orders frantically starting tomorrow, and I can't wait to see all of you just rocking it out. So super exciting stuff. Then, Carissa, interject at any point if you have something you want to add. Then you're going to have Christmas with your family. Take catalogs. Take a Wild Tree dish to pass. Do not stop at Festival Foods and buy something. I will come to your house. I will find you. I'm just kidding. P.S. Sometimes you just have to, right? Like I had a frozen pizza tonight. But for the most part, I want you to serve Wild Tree as your dishes to pass. I want you to give Wild Tree yourself this season. And I want you to take books and order forms to your Christmas gatherings. No, you don't lay them out like it's a party, okay? Like this is not like a Wild Tree tasting. But you never know when your Aunt Betty might ask you about your new Wild Tree gig. And you can say, Betty, I'd love to talk to you about it after Christmas. I'll send you home with a book today and I'll follow up with you on Monday. It doesn't have to be spammy or tacky. Chris, anything you want to add to that?
No, no. And the thing is, I do it for every event. I'm sure most of you do too, where you just buy things and you have them, or you make things and bring them to all your events, and everyone's like, oh, what's that? But it's nice because when they do see the food, then you be like, oh, I have a catalog, you can check it out, whatever. Or, you know, make small talk too, because you're with how many family members during that week or whatever, and you're going to Christmas gatherings and things like that. They might know someone who wants what you have too. So a prime example of this is kind of going off a little bit. Well, not really, but one for an example of like a referral type thing, because we're always looking for referrals from other people. Your family is really key to that too. But I had an open house at my home, obviously, a week ago, and this girl came in from a referral of one of her friends. I was like, oh, just stop here. We have 3 different tables. Come shop. So she's like, oh, okay, I'll come shop. So she bought a couple things and my gifts, and she brought them to her work to show someone else or whatever. And her boss ended up being like, well, we always do gift cards. And she's like, well, we could do something different like this. She called me that night and was like, I need 50 more of these, what you just did. 50. She's like, here's his credit card. I'll pay you. Boom, whatever. But the point of my whole story is, even at your holiday gifts, whatever your parties that you're bringing food, think of what you're giving people too. So my kids' teachers are always getting Wild Tree because their Wild Tree lady might have stopped or whatever. So they're getting Wild Tree. I'm dropping a book with them, a catalog, my card, whatever. So just think of outside the box too. Of you're not being pushy or salesy or anything. You're just being super passionate, super loud about what you have to offer. So sorry, I just want to put that in there because that was a big ass referral.
Yeah, for sure. Then that last week in the year, you're going to be helping people stock up their pantries and their freezer with freezer meals, whatever it is for the new year. So you've got that whole last week of the month that you can be helping people get their pantries stocked. And also, you guys, all of this being said, from now until December 31st and beyond, you should be solely focused, if you are not doing a party and you've got 20 or 30 minutes to work your business, on filling your January calendar. Starting with your Hot 100 list, who can you reach out to? It's double credits. There's not a better time in the year to have a party. But then Chris and I also have some other ideas for you that you can use as well. Oh, go ahead.
And Kayla, say like for you, we were just talking on the phone and you're like, well, my last party's this day. And I'm like, well, I just threw some on my calendar for the 16th. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to throw that on there. And you did like 5 days ago and you sold 4 or 5 bundles or whatever. So mine's the 16th and people are like, ooh, that's getting a little close. It's like, no, really.
No.
Even that last week in December too. I know this is an idea that I saw Tina's doing. She's thinking about doing a kids in the kitchen because the kids are off. I know I don't want to go off topic with the kids in the kitchen, but you could do like a mom and mimosa or like a play date. Kid, whatever, like make it fun because the kids are off school that last week. You could have them come over in the morning, sample, let the kids play. Like there's probably a lot of moms that would really like something like that.
Yeah, and Chris is right. I forgot about my own real life example. Last Thursday, she told me I should do a last minute workshop this month. And I was like, mother trucker, I'm sick of doing last minute everything, but okay, why not? Chris is smart. So on Saturday at my vendor event, which wasn't the best vendor event I've ever done, I used my time wisely and I posted on Facebook, private in my recipe club and on my main wall. And I went ahead and started messaging people. I sold 5 bundles so far. I think I've got 7 coming total so far, bringing some kiddos to play Sunday. My husband's working anyway. That is totally last minute, you guys. So yes, the last week of the year, I did a kids in the kitchen. a few years back. It was well attended. And I've done a mommy and me play date the same week. I never thought of mimosa, like moms and mimosas, and then letting the kids play.
I don't know
That's
why I
genius.
always bring beverages into the mix. But
No. That's, or like mistletoe and margaritas. You could do anything, you guys. So what we're trying to paint the picture of is like, now's the time to set a vision so you're motivated to work right through. We're not saying work through Christmas dinner, okay? We are taking time off with our families. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're on this call because you want to rock out 2019. Well, guess what? It's little pieces that come together now. If you want a full calendar for January, get asking people. Book yourself, okay? Do a wine and wellness night where you serve the protein balls and protein shakes and wine to your customers, and get them hooked on the wellness shakes and a healthy workshop kit. If you don't know this, in our catalog, the green color-coded category of workshop kits are Whole30, paleo, vegetarian, vegan. They're the cleanest of menus when it comes to clean eating. But you could do a wine and wellness night at your house in January, or rent a space somewhere, or find a space for free. We're going to give you some fun ideas, like a guessing game to post in your social media platforms, and whoever guesses the closest will win a free party with you. We have mystery box ideas. We have freezer teasers and make it and take it. And I'm throwing a lot at you. And obviously on this call, we're not going to go over the how-tos, but we want you to just be getting your brain going and thinking, how can I get my calendar full now? So when I get into January, I'm not just starting to look at it. If you're on my team page, I made a Tuesday tip today about how I want to go into Christmas by December 20th. I want to have my January pretty booked so I can enjoy Christmas with my family and come back to work January 2nd and be rocking it out with my best month of the year. When you do that, you're then going to take all the bookings you get off of your January parties, and they're going to be your February and March and April. And pretty soon you're going to be ahead of the game. And when you land in February, you're going to already have March and April booked. And by the time you land in March, you'll have April, May, and June completely booked. And that's how Carissa and I, if you wonder, keep our calendars full. We get ahead of it. So we're trying to really encourage you tonight that without vision, it's never going to happen because you don't have a reason or a why. With vision, it takes just a little bit of elbow grease, and you are going to have an amazing 2019. Carissa, what do you want to add to that?
no, I think that's great. I would love to hear, I know we only have like 2 minutes left, but I'd love to hear if anyone else has any ideas that they want to throw out there that's worked for them.
Or
too.
questions. Yeah, we should
that-
stop talking and let questions be asked. Good idea. My fault. Ask, you guys. Someone said spiced cranberry mimosas. Genius idea in between the Christmas and New Year's holiday with our spiced
I did
cranberry. Oh, go ahead.
I did those at my party. I did those at my party, like my tasting, and as well as the last party I just did. I did a non-alcoholic one, and I did the actual alcoholic one, and they both turned out really good. So I would recommend that. It was quite the hit, and everybody loved that spiced cranberry jam. So.
That's awesome.
And then you serve the rest of the jar over cream cheese with crackers. I'm just saying. Look at my face right now. I'm very serious about my cream cheese spreads this time of the year. That's why I have to work out every single day.
I didn't even have to use the cream cheese. They seriously were probably ready to lick it right out of the jar with their fingers. And I was like, okay, I had crackers and breads and things like that, and they just downed the whole thing. So I ended up having to buy a couple more jars just for my next parties.
One of the best things too, you guys, one of the most motivating reasons to do what we're talking about here and host yourself is, do you guys want to have I've been making my free list with all my free credits I'm going to have to spend. Who doesn't want to get double credits themselves and the paycheck? So if you don't understand that, when you host yourself right now, December 15th through January 31st, you get the paycheck and the free credits. So get some things on your calendar, you guys. I can't say it enough. And get your hostesses will jump all over double credits. You just got to be asking people.
And not just posting
the recipes
Facebook.
on the app. Whoever just asked that.
That's Stephanie.
Okay.
Yes, Stephanie, did you just ask it, I think?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the recipe's on the app.
Yes, it is on the app.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Well, good job. Thank you, guys. Great feedback. Who else has something they want to add before we get kicked off? We'll go till we get kicked off.
I do have a question though. When I had my party, there was a couple of things that weren't listed in the book. Is there anything like the heavenly chocolate mousse? I couldn't find that in the book anywhere, so I wasn't quite sure. And that's a popular item.
It's not. It's discontinued actually. It's taken out of our product line. Like it's going away for
Okay.
good.